This morning, you woke up. Did you give thanks? If you didn't, it's probably because you forgot that when praise goes up, the blessings come down. Welcome to this week's Dragonfly Soup. I'm Linda Watson-Call. Thank you for joining me today. I titled today's episode, Go Gratitude, partly because I'm really grateful for everyone who clicked like after last week's episode and shared it with others. We can do that again this week, right? But more importantly, giving thanks or showing gratitude can have an effect on us, both physically and emotionally. Now, none of us live a stress-free life. They say a little stress is good for us because it gets the adrenaline pumping, but too much stress creates ulcers, unhappy relationships, and worse. So we need to find a balance between good stress and the stress that can put us over the edge. Some studies have shown that people who are thankful or grateful, even for the little things, are happier, both with themselves and with others. They also feel like they have less stress in their lives. Now, I know you're going to tell me, stop, you don't know what's going on in my life, you don't know what I'm experiencing right now. And you are right. Everyone experiences everything differently, even if they are standing right next to each other and seeing and hearing the same thing. Think about people leaving a movie theater or a concert. Some people loved it, some people hated it, and the rest had their own opinions of how it could have been better or could have been done differently. But didn't they all hear and see the same thing? So the same is true with everything else. You know, a few years ago, I was working for a small family-run business. And by small, I mean there were like 6 of us, and that included the 2 people who owned the company. We had 3 or 4 other people that would work if we had a lot of projects to do. This company designed training for other corporations, mostly the automobile industry. Well, it was one of those cycles where the automotive companies were cutting back, making adjustments, conserving money. There was a 6-month period when we were getting fewer and fewer courses to develop. One of our regulars was cut back to part-time. We were told that she was going back to college and couldn't work full-time anymore. That was plausible. But then it happened. We were called into the meeting room for an important announcement. A few of us speculated that the company had just landed a big job, but as it turned out, it was a notice that we would all soon be unemployed. Now, I have to say this. Instead of immediate termination, they were giving us a 2 weeks notice. But everyone, including me, was stunned. After what seemed like forever, I simply said, well, I've been thinking about freelancing for quite a while. Guess this is my opportunity to do it. And just by saying that, the entire atmosphere in the room changed from hopeless to hopeful. The owners even came back saying that their rent is the same whether there are people in this building or not. So if any of us wanted to camp out in our office space, feel free to do so. We would be able to use the computers and the phones to send out our resumes and make contacts. But they would appreciate it if we brought in our own paper and maybe contributed to the purchase of ink for the printers. Unheard of. Most places would just send you packing. And even though no one likes to look for another job, we were ever so grateful that we had a place where we could be to send out our resumes, to make our phone calls, even do some freelancing. Gratitude is a matter of respect. The employer in this situation was grateful for the years of service that we gave them. And instead of telling us to leave, they gave us a space that we could do our resumes and make phone calls. That helped lessen the blow. And for this, we were grateful. But gratitude doesn't always have to be something monumental like this was. Every day we have reasons to be grateful. It could be something small like walking outside and feeling the sun, or getting a hug from the child. And sometimes gratitude is triggered by how we respond to a situation, like getting stuck in traffic but being grateful that we have some extra time to mentally prepare for the meeting this afternoon. You know, the weather pattern in my area has been anything but typical. Michigan winters are usually cold, 20 to mid-30 degrees, and lots of clouds, periodic snowfalls. Okay, anywhere from a dusting to 6 or 8 inches. Well, since Christmas, our school district has had snow days, ice days, 2 cold days, bad road days, you name it. For me, because I'm a substitute teacher, no school means no income. Ouch. So I've developed a mindset that says I'm grateful if we have school, and I'm grateful if we don't. I enjoy being with the kids, so in addition to earning extra money, I have fun in the classroom. No school? That's also great. I have a book that needs to be outlined, or I can work on some new trail classes for my horseback riding lessons. I have one of those 2-sided coins that say thank you, regardless how it falls. You see, gratitude releases an energy within us, and with that energy, we continue to move forward. Think about it. You've been hoping that one day soon your daughter will announce to you that she and her husband are expecting your first grandchild. Or you were able to make a recipe that your grandmother used and it tastes just as good as hers did. Or you were sitting outside and saw a beautiful cloud formation. You heard the spring peepers. That's a sure sign of warm weather coming. Or a stranger complimented your hairstyle. All reasons to say thank you. All reasons to feel the energy that we feel when something like that happens. You also get that positive feeling when you're giving somebody else a compliment, praising that other person, or maybe giving somebody an unexpected gift. Because gratitude and giving thanks works both ways. Gratitude is an action that we should incorporate into our lives every day. My late husband would come to the kitchen table every morning and say, "This is going to be a great day." It didn't matter what was on the agenda. That was his first thought for the day. And every evening, as we got ready for bed, he'd say, "Another day of Thanksgiving." He was always grateful, and he always expressed it. I remember one time we were in a store, and there was a small issue. And we were looking for something that the store was supposed to carry, but we couldn't find it. We asked a salesperson for help, and she couldn't find it either. She apologized to us, and we thanked her for her help, and she replied, "Wish I could have done more. Have a nice day." Tom smiled to her and said, "We will, because you've already made it that way for us." Imagine how that person felt, being told that even though she was frustrated and couldn't locate the item, her effort was very much appreciated, and we were grateful for her assistance. Being grateful, even when you're disappointed. There are several ways that we can keep this feeling of gratitude alive within ourselves. If you use a planner and record the outcome of your daily activities, make a note about something you were grateful for, even if it's something small like everyone showed up on time for the meeting. Or keep a journal. If you read my book, Living an Abundant Life, you know I am a big advocate of journaling. Journaling is a great way to write down and express your feelings. So write one thing down or 2 things down every day that happened and that you are truly grateful for. But just a note of caution here. If you go this route and write something like, "Today I'm grateful for blah, blah, blah," it's going to get old and you're going to stop doing it. So change it up. Once in a while, just write about the experience. The gratitude will come through in your writing. And another way, and I really like this one, is to keep a gratitude jar. Nothing big, just big enough to hold a year's worth of papers. Write down on a piece of paper whatever you're grateful for and drop it into the jar. It could be your son's first touchdown, the rain, the prompt delivery of the pizza that you ordered. Then, on New Year's Eve, you can read the notes and realize that you do have a lot to be grateful for. You may recognize the name Iyanla Van Zandt from an Oprah Winfrey show. She says, "Perhaps you went to bed last night thinking about overdue bills, the lack of finances, the problematic people and situations you have to face. This morning, you woke up. Did you give thanks? If you didn't, it's probably because you forgot that when praise goes up, the blessings come down. That should be enough to inspire you to be thankful." So send praise and thanks to others in your life. Send a thank you card to a favorite aunt who you haven't seen in a while. Thank her for her support, or just share a memory and say you are grateful that she had been a part of your life. A teacher would like that too. Send a surprise email to a team member appreciating the work he or she has done on a project. Put up a thank you board where others can post notes of appreciation to a coworker or maybe even a manager. One year we had encouraged the students in our school to slip a note of appreciation into another student's locker. The students were so surprised when they read and found one. Yes, we had rules that it had to be positive and you had to sign it. But these positive notes meant a lot to so many of the students. If you manage volunteers, hand out gift cards periodically. They don't have to be an extravagant amount. Sometimes a $5 or $10 card for coffee means a lot. Or provide drinks and snacks when they come to do an activity. And find ways to acknowledge people publicly, whether it's at a meeting, in a newsletter, or some other way. Gratitude. It energizes us to continue happily on our journey. But it takes all of us to remember to thank everyone we come in contact with. How will you show your gratitude this week? Let us know in the comments below. And I'll see you here next week on Dragonfly Soup. Here's to our transformation and our best year ever.